What's up?
What's up?
What is that flag in the background?
Israel.
Israel flag.
Yes.
You Jewish?
Yes, I am.
You are Jewish and American?
Yes, and Syrian. I was born in Syria.
What the fuck?
Did
That's
you know that there were
combination?
Syrians and Jews?
Yes.
You knew
This, I knew what?
that there were Jews from Syria?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I recently found out because I'm one of those conspiracy theorists, you know?
All right, hit me. What you got?
Well, I like to believe it to a certain extent that makes me creative,
Okay.
but I don't really care. You know, all these people talking about the Jewish controlling everything. I don't fucking care. I do my own shit, you know? I
Here's
don't
the
bother anyone.
here's
But,
the funny thing about the Jewish controlling everything. Do you know how many people we are in the world? Out of 6
a
billion
lot, yeah.
people. No. How many Jews do you think exist out of 6 billion people?
I think not so many. I think like 6 to 10 million.
15 million out of 6 billion people. Everybody accuses us of controlling everything, but the reason why it appears that we control everything, we don't hide the secret. One, we believe in God, we have faith. Two, we don't cry victim our whole life. We work hard, we study hard, we make sure we're advancing, our children are advancing. I'm an immigrant. My father came from Syria with my entire family to the United States. We came as refugees, as Jewish Syrian refugees to America. My dad never
Okay.
told me to hate Americans. My dad never told me to reject America or reject their culture. He didn't tell me to hate Syrians or want to stab Syrians or go to protest the Syrian mosque or go in front of the Syrian consulate and try to burn it down. He didn't put me in the past. He put me in the future. He said, "Look, you know how to
Yeah.
speak English. The sky is the limit for you. Go study, go do well in school." And that's where my mind was. So you know what? I did. I went, I studied, I worked hard, and now I own a law firm. I own a mid-sized law firm. I'm probably one of very young to do it. This is my second law firm. I sold the first one I started. Does it did I own any? Did I control the world? Do I control anything? No. I just work my ass off to achieve because I want to give my children the future that I was deprived of because of the immigration.
You have children already?
Of course.
Congrats to the law firm and to the children, man.
Yeah, thank you,
I,
brother.
I love the energy. I love the
Yeah, man.
energy.
Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the support. And if you have any interesting conspiracy, throw it my way. I love challenging good conspiracies.
No, I think what all this Jewish media controlling everything is about is not about the normal people, the normal Jewish people that just build up their lives, their careers, and with Jewish discipline, you know. It's rather the history of this. How is it called? Rothschild. Yeah. Um, they are they are originally Jewish and German. They say they're from Frankfurt or something. And my dad also tells me about that sometimes. He also like me. He likes to be into it. He's like let's say 50% into it. I'm like 10% into it,
Right.
and he sometimes tells me something about it. But we're not like, okay, we have to fight against that. You know,
Yeah.
why do I have the need to have the? Why do I need the need to do such thing? You know, I live my own life like you do. You
Right.
know, just have your own aspirations.
Right. And so
But
let me just put some water on this conspiracy with the Rothschilds. I know the conspiracy with the Rothschilds. They're a very powerful family. They're a very rich family.
yeah,
But they also, their story, their startup, nobody handed them anything. It's also a story of a family trying to achieve on their own. And they're a very ancient family that made a shit ton of money, but they don't control the media. Most of the media that's owned in America is owned by non Jews. The BBC is not Jewish. Um, Fox News is not Jewish. the reporting against the state of Israel, the reporting against the Jewish people, I mean, would show you that if we really controlled the media, we're doing a very shitty job. Like, we're losing the media war. For people that control the media, there'd be no conspiracy theories. Israel would look like a hero. Nobody would even hear the word Gaza. That's what I would do if I controlled the media, right? But that's obviously, the facts don't line up. You're seeing the Jews get destroyed in the media left and right. And if we owned it, why are we destroying ourselves? Like, this is just dumb.
Yeah, well, it's kind of an uncontrolled thing, the media, because because it's not controllable. What the fuck? You can't do that. You can't restrict everything, you know?
Absolutely. So
And
so Jews don't control the media.
if you do, somebody will notice. And
Right? So Jews don't
it's
control
hard.
it.
Even though if somebody is controlling the media or if somebody's trying to, it's not possible for 100%.
You know who does
Well, that's what
control
I
a lot of
believe,
the
you know?
media? You know who does
What?
control the media, though? And I can
No.
show you. Okay. Israel, for instance, has multiple news channels, multiple newspapers. They have right wing newspapers, right wing news channels, and then they have very left wing newspapers and left wing news channels. There's some news channels who hate Bibi Netanyahu, some who love him. You get a mix, and you get opinion news, just like the West. However,
Yeah.
Qatar owns Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is banned in many other Arab countries, just so you know. In Saudi Arabia, Al Jazeera is banned because they know it's a Muslim Brotherhood propaganda arm. I know this
Okay.
because we watch Al Jazeera Arabic in my house. I've watched it before. Like, my parents have it on their TV. They don't even watch it anymore because it's such propaganda and bullshit that we choose Al Arabiya, which is a news channel coming out of Saudi Arabia. Qatar spends a ton of money on influencers, flying them out, paying them, private jets, private planes. They bought universities. It was just exposed in the U.S. now. There's a university that received money from Qatar, and the contract, the contingency on the money that they received, the gift they received from Qatar, they needed to make sure that none of their professors or students would talk badly against the Qatari government. That is control. That is a government and a group of people trying to control things. Think about it. Qatar is a tiny. Have you ever even heard of them? Did you ever see how big of land that is? It's tiny, and all the leaders are trillionaires. Like, the money does not stop. They fund Hamas. They fund terror. They fund the Muslim Brotherhood. They control media outlets like Al Jazeera, Al Jazeera English. I'm actually suing Al Jazeera now in court because they lied about me. Um, and
Damn.
yeah, bro. And so when people say the Jews own the media, I'm like, you sure it's not the Qataris that you're confusing with the Jews?
So there's one thing that that just popped up in my mind,
Hit it.
and I've heard something about the that Israel attacked Qatar. Is there some connection between that?
So Hamas, the leadership for Hamas, the group, the terrorist group that launched the war against Israel on October 7th and dragged Israel into this war for the last 2 years, all the leaders of Hamas are not sitting in Gaza. They can care less about the Gazan population. They're sitting in Qatar. They're sitting in hotels in Qatar, getting fat, getting prostitutes, getting blowjobs. Excuse my language, but you can look this up. Like, you can Google it. The leaders of Hamas hotel bill in Qatar. It's like $3 million for the night. Like, that's how crazy they go. And they're just chilling in Qatar, and they negotiate. Nah, no deal. We don't want a deal. Why don't you want a deal? Think about how many times Hamas said no to a deal that Israel put forward. If you're saying Gaza is being genocided, you're losing, everybody is starving, why aren't you making the deal? Like, why do you keep pushing off the deal? It was easy. They were getting a ton of money, a ton of donations being raised for The Gaza catastrophe, all that money is going to Hamas. The leaders are getting rich, getting fatter. They're all worth billions of dollars, and they hide out in Qatar. So Israel said, you know what? Let me send a message that they're just because they're in Qatar doesn't mean we can't get them. We want to show them we're gonna get them. Them and their big fat bellies are sitting and chilling. We're gonna get the leaders of Hamas. And Israel did a precision strike to take out the leadership of Hamas in Qatar, just like United States attacked Pakistan to take out Osama bin Laden, right? They had to go into Pakistan.
Shit, bro, you kind of opened another another part of some conspiracies. You know,
I like your conspiracy mind, bro. What other parts?
no, like you know, in GTA the game,
Yes,
when you start the game, you don't have the whole map.
right.
And I felt like after talking to you, I unlocked a new map. You know.
Good, good. Is that good for Israel and for the Jewish people or bad? I want to make sure I didn't destroy my people.
Well, I would say what you said was rather good, but I don't evaluate anything, so I just I
Suck it in.
evaluate
You just
things.
suck it in.
Yeah,
Smart.
exactly, but I evaluate things in how interesting they are, and it don't matter if it's good or bad. If I can't change anything, and if a good thing is interesting to me, it's nice. If a bad thing is interesting to me, okay, good. But right now, I am in no power to change anything.
You're a smart guy.
Like, like all the other climate change people that try to change something just for themselves. What the fuck you trying to do? You're just one person. You're not even a corporation or something.
Yeah, I mean, what about what's her name? Greta Thunberg and her trip to Gaza. Like, come on. Yeah, you're going to feed Gaza. They would go on the boat. There's no aid. There's nothing. Nothing on the boat with them. Maybe they have one box of like food. We're going to feed. What the fuck are you guys doing? One, you think you're talking about climate change. You're putting a stunt that drove multiple ships with their diesel gas in the ocean for what purpose? Like, what'd you do? What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna freak? What Greta Thunberg is gonna come and what Hamas is gonna be like? Yep, we're done. We're done subjugating our population. Israel's gonna be like, oh God, Greta's here. Let's run it. Like, what is she gonna do, Miss Climate Change? Right? Like, you're smart. You're saying, look, I understand. I don't evaluate, but she's out of her goddamn mind. Like with her climate change. I met another climate change activist actually, and he threatened me. And he wrote a book, How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Like I'm not understanding. Like I thought you guys are for the climate, and why are all the climate change organizations? And this is the weirdest shit for me. Why are they all pro-Palestine? I don't fucking get it. The Palestinians in Gaza are burning tires. That's literally their protest. They burn rubber, multiple a shit ton of rubbers by by the fence. That was their protest before October 7th. And all the climate change people are like, yep, these are our people. Go see the like. What are you guys doing? I just don't get it.
Oh, there's just people that have something stuck in their mind and that they have to work on it. And usually you would think that is a good mindset, but they're just too stupid enough. They're too stupid to realize what the real purpose of life is, to just go your own way.
Enjoy.
And all these people have something stuck in their mind that is not in a purpose of an individual. It's it's a purpose of something that's been stuck in their head because somebody put it in there, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
Listen.
so crazy. I was a couple of years ago I was like an NPC. I was following the left Then afterwards, I was like extremely right, and right now I'm like, what the fuck is
Homeless.
left and right, bro?
You're homeless. I feel the same way. I have no party. I'm not left and I'm not right. The right's fucking crazy. The left is out of their mind. I'm like, where do I belong? I'm trying to be rational, and there's no more rational people. Nobody wants to have normal conversations. Like, this is an amazing conversation, but everybody is an ideological robot. That's what's become now.
Exactly, exactly. And everybody has an ideal in their mind.
Yeah. Listen,
That is so
in New
crazy.
York, the pro-Palestinian march, they came into in front of a synagogue last week. The synagogue had a Jewish event, okay? They did a protest. They blocked the doors of the synagogue. They started banging, and then there's debates. And then debate is, should they be allowed to protest or not, right? And I'm like, there's nobody talking nuance. You want to protest? Go to Congress, go to the government building, stand outside and protest from the morning until the night. Nobody can say anything. But what the hell are a bunch of Jews in a synagogue going to actually change or do for you? Even if you're right, even if you're 100% right on everything you're saying, what are they going to do for you? They said, so the person I was arguing with me said, oh no, this way the Jews will know next time not to go to such a thing. I'm like, so you're not protesting, you're targeting and harassing a population of people.
Look, if that conspiracy that Jewish people control everything would be true, it but we reduce the conspiracy into the part that just a small amount of the Jewish people controlling everything. Why do you still bother normal Jewish people that live in another country that have nothing to do with all that
Right.
has been going on in their
Even
ideology?
if you believe
Uh,
that, I agree with you. I mean, look, I disagree with this idea that a small group of Jewish people control everything. It's
if I would, I,
no,
I
no, I
just
agree
say
with you.
in
I
that
agree.
scenario, you know,
Right, right. Even if I understand your argument, that's what I'm saying. Even if, what are these
that's how
random
stupid
Jews gonna
people
do for
are.
you? Yeah, no, people are dumb. People don't have any um, common reasoning abilities, and you know what? Unfortunately, not Muslims, not all Muslims, but Islamism, Muslim Brotherhood that is pushed by Qatar. This is their strategy, bro, to divide. This is their strategy: divide and conquer the West. And this is what they're doing. How do you divide the West? You start getting the Jews, the Christians to fight each other, the entire civilization to start hating each other. You can look at almost every country. Every pro Palestine movement is a movement against the country that is hosting them, which is fucking crazy to me. My mom told me, they go, you go to every Arab, 1 million Jews were thrown out of Arab countries between 1948 till the present, okay? 1 million. Go to every Arab country and see how many Jews committed crimes. When did we go to jail? We came to America. We all went to work. We went to business. We tried to build ourselves. What are we doing? We're not trying to bother anybody, to make problems, to start wars. But go look at every pro Palestinian movement. They're always burning the flag of the country that accepted them. There's no gratefulness for the opportunities that they're receiving. It's like, oh, I'm gonna burn fuck Germany. I hate America. I hate Canada. And they're letting them on the street. Let them go try doing their protest in their home country. They'll be hung. Do you know if you go to Saudi Arabia and you hold up a Palestinian flag, they'll throw your ass in jail?
Well, I didn't know that in particularly, but
That's an
I know
Arab
that.
country who wants to see a Palestinian state, they say. And they'll throw you in jail if you're protesting for Palestine in Saudi Arabia. Because they know what they invented. They understand that Palestinianism, is an invention of Arabs. It is an ideology that is supposed to spread Islam and an ideology that is supposed to beat the Jewish state. Just like ISIS, why do they exist? They need to free Catalonia, Spain. It used to be one time Muslim. How dare it not be Muslim anymore? We need to free Catalonia. So ISIS says that's why we're blowing up Europe. We want to free and make Catalonia Muslim again. What? And this is what Palestine is for Israel, the Jewish state. All of a sudden, these group of Arab extremists who colonized and owned Israel since the 6th century, since they did the Islamic conquest. They came in, they took over Israel, they made it Muslim. They kept the Jews, the Christians. We both lived as dhimmis, subjugated. We had to pay a tax just to exist in their country, even though it was ours, and we lived there and they colonized us. And now, finally, they no longer owned Israel. It went back to the Jewish people, and they can't process that. Oh my God, how does the land that used to be Muslim no longer Muslim anymore? It needs to go back to being Muslims. Jews can't own their own land. The Jews were our dogs. That's how they thought. And so they created this idea of Palestinianism, which is, let's utilize this social movement to fight against the Jewish state. Let's make these people weapons against Jews. And I can prove that very easily. If you're a Palestinian refugee, they call themselves, in Lebanon, and you have a child, do you know Lebanon won't give your child citizenship? Your grandchild, nobody in your family will ever get citizenship. Not in Lebanon, not in Syria, not in Jordan. These are Arab countries. Why? Why do you want to keep them as refugees? Because if there are no more refugees, then who's going to fight against the Jewish state? So it's a manufactured identity to attack Jews and to infiltrate the West. You never heard that, huh?
No, I never heard that. Damn. That's a whole new perspective.
Yeah, bro.
That's really interesting to hear. I have a friend that I met the other day. He's not such a close friend, but through close friends, we're good friends. And I noticed he, on the back of his phone, he has a Palestine flag. Like a really small one, very decent, but still a Palestinian flag. And he's studying Arabic now, the language.
Yes.
But he doesn't really want to do it. He just finds that all that stuff interesting. He will not convert or anything, but he just finds everything interesting. He travels through some countries there, and is learning the language. Um, but he wants to study psychology, and I can have good conversations with him too. And one day I want to talk about him with him about that, you know.
Yeah,
But
bro.
I think I'm not prepared for that
Yeah, yeah.
already.
I
So
speak I speak Arabic fluently. Obviously, because I was born there. Um, this fantasy over Palestine is a very trendy topic, and you can bring that up. But again, it's literally the way they're going to infiltrate the West. They make it a social justice movement. It's a movement for the right of the self determination of the Palestinian people to have their own state. Okay, beautiful statement. Who doesn't want to stand with that? But then you realize, and you go back in history, and you see 1948, Israel accepted Israel, and the Arabs rejected a Palestinian state. Instead, they launched a war against Israel. They lost the war. Okay. Jordan occupied the West Bank and East Jerusalem between 1948 until 1967. This is the land that everybody wants to make a Palestinian state today in 2025, the two-state solution. So my question to everybody is, I'm very confused. In 1948, between 1948 to 1967, Jordan, an Arab country, owned this West Bank. It controlled East Jerusalem. Why didn't they create a Palestinian state if there was such a thing? You know the occupied territories that they call occupied territories? They were
that's paradox.
they were
That's a
owned
paradox.
they were controlled by Jordan between 48 and 67. They never set up a Palestinian state in these occupied territories. You know when they decided to fight for a Palestinian state in the occupied territories? In 1967, Israel asked Jordan, "Don't interfere in this war that the other Arab countries are attacking us." Jordan said, "Screw you," and attacked Israel. Israel fought back and won the West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan. When they won it back from Jordan, you want peace? Go back. Go back behind the line. Stop occupying our land. What are you, fucking stupid? If you go to a casino and I gamble $100,000, I want to win 200,000. But if I lose, can I blow up the casino for 50 years telling the casino that they're occupying my money? I gambled. I lost. Bye bye.
That is crazy. That is a crazy story, man. God damn.
Yeah, brother.
You know what you just said earlier, like the stuff you said right now really blew me up, but the one before, that they're infiltrating all this Palestine propaganda. Bro, the Palestinian flag is everywhere. I live in a big city. I live in, do you know Hamburg in
Of
Germany?
course.
I live there. And we are considered relatively conservative, and the more right parties are, or the more right mentality
Right.
today is more against Israel, and more like, okay, still, we don't like Israel, but at the same time, they're also against Palestine. So that's a paradox right there. And they're just expressing some kind of ideology that is stuck in their head too. Because when I was pretty right wing. I have to say, after I was left wing, I was pretty right wing, and I was the same mentality. I had the same mentality, and it was always some mind barriers that I had, and that's the paradox right there that is infiltrated in our minds. It doesn't matter what what you really think. It matters what generally is generally values for has a value for more people.
The side that you're
And
with, whatever the ideology that the side that
exactly,
you're with, you accept.
there's it's like football or soccer teams. There's a lot of soccer teams, and the one ideology that is on the top right now has a lot of ideologies down there, and we change ideology, like the whole world changes the ideology every fucking 10 to 50 years. I just noticed right now. And it's a league that you're in. That is, what the fuck?
Yeah, because really think about it. Like, why in the world would
You
Germans,
never know the
right?
reality. You never
Right.
know the truth.
Bro, because think about it logically. Why in the world? Why in the world would Germans be against the state of Israel? Right wing, left wing, whatever. Think about it like this. Israelis that come to Germany, how many of them are burning the German flag, spitting on Germans, cursing Germans in the street? How many times has Israel planned to do something in Germany, whatever? How many
They
Palestinians
never
and
did.
pro-Palestinian protests burn the German flag, fight with your police, want to destroy the German way? Who's the problem? Why would they ever choose to stand against Israel? If anything, they should stand with Israel. It doesn't make sense.
They
So you're
just,
right.
in our league, they just have the best strikers, you know?
Yeah.
So it means they're shooting the most missiles, so everybody knows about that.
I
But
know.
in our reality, the missiles are are not visible. It
Yep.
looks like Israel
The
is like
bad guy.
shooting the missiles.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Huh?
tell you one more thing to blow your mind. Then I got to get out of here because you
You
brought
gotta
up
go get
missiles
to
and
work.
rockets. You brought up bombs, right? Would you how many people would you think a rocket or a missile could kill?
Repeat.
How many people do you think a rocket could kill?
Like
A bomb.
a bomb. Not I could say better how many people a missile would kill,
If
but
a bomb, a bomb comes from a 2,000 ton bomb that's dropped from a plane, a missile, whatever. How many people could it kill?
I would say like up to 1,000 people. If they're just stacked up there, all those people and all the other people would be like injured and stuff like that. If a lot of people would be at that point.
But you would say that if I was trying to kill a lot of people, I could kill more than one person per 2,000-ton bomb that I drop from a plane, right?
Yeah, but if you consider that in a city, um, it would be different. I think it would kill one missile just it would kill maybe 500 people, a little
Okay.
bit less,
Beautiful.
because the people are more spread out. You know.
Beautiful. You're right. I'm with you. Now, Gaza is highly densely populated. If you've ever seen Gaza, it's like this. It's a small, tight area. There are 60,000. Hamas, not me. I don't believe their number, but Hamas says 67,000 Palestinians have died in Gaza, right? That's Hamas's number. You can look it up. Israel has dropped over 100,000 bombs, close to 200,000 bombs on Gaza. If Israel was really trying to kill people, you don't think they can kill more than 67,000 people with 200,000, 2,000-ton bombs dropping onto Gaza?
Another thing, a contra argument right now. I'm staying at an ideology right now. So, don't you think Israel would like to kill the people, but slowly? Because then there won't be a major outbreak. It's just a almost major outbreak, But if they make a real big outbreak,
No, that'd be
then
stupid.
they would get attacked like from fucking everybody.
No, strategically that would be the dumbest thing for Israel to do. One, from a PR standpoint, anything else. If you remember, after October 7th, after Hamas and the Gazans broke into Israel, murdered 1,200 people, took hostage 251, raped our women, after they did that, for the first week or two, Israel could have done whatever the hell they wanted to do in Gaza, and nobody was going to say shit. The entire world was with Israel's side. The more and the longer that the war dragged out, the less people became on Israel's side. So if Israel really wanted to commit genocide, and they would have just dropped 30 boom 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 boom, like killed 200,000 people within the first week of this war, nobody would have said a fucking word. Or they would have bugged out in the first month or two, and then it would have died out, and then the tensions would have dropped. At the end of the day, this I'm gonna slowly kill them. I'm gonna slowly. It makes no sense. One, Israel didn't start the war October 7th. Two,
I
Israel.
don't. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you're right.
1 second.
I
Two.
think there would be a major outbreak. But tell me. Tell me. I'm sorry.
Two, Israel didn't start the war October 7th. Two, Israel accepted every agreement to stop the war that was presented by the mediators. Do you know who rejected? Hamas. Time and time again. They rejected to accept a peace deal. And when you ask, it's not good enough. What do you mean it's not good enough? If your people are being genocided, you don't fucking have leverage to negotiate with me. If I'm accepting a ceasefire, you accept it. If you're losing, you're losing. Hamas wanted to win and lose at the same time. It doesn't really work, right? They don't want to accept the deal. It's not good enough. But we're also being genocided. Let me ask you, during the Holocaust in Germany, if you would have given the deal, any deal to Jews to get out, you don't think we would have accepted any deal? Of course. We wouldn't have said, you know what? We need to negotiate. We'll stay in Auschwitz a little bit longer, but we just need to get a couple of better terms on the. No, because there was a real genocide there. We were really trying to get the hell out. In Gaza, they're sitting there negotiating. I know the argument you're saying. If Israel would have wiped out all of Gaza in one day, the whole world would have attacked Israel. They would have blown up Israel. From Germany to the UK to this. The problem is, and you're naive in a good way. You have a good heart. You think that would happen. But the entire world thinks Israel has nuclear weapons, okay? Everybody in the world thinks Israel has nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
If Israel
Everybody.
decided to wipe out a Gaza, which is this big small piece of land, and every single person that lives there, the world would have went crazy, but nobody would have done shit because nobody cares that much at the end of the day. Nobody's going to risk their countries to stand up for Gazans. And Israel knew this. If Israel really wanted to kill and be mean, they wouldn't have sent their ground troops. And do you know how many injured soldiers we have, IDF soldiers we have in Israel right now, missing limbs, missing legs, missing feet, missing hands? Thousands of injured soldiers, over 1,000 dead soldiers. Why do we need to do this? So we can drag it out? So what's the measurement of dragging out? Do you know there's a ratio in war, in urban warfare, urban modern warfare, there's a ratio. One combatant for every 9 civilians. That is the acceptable standard that the United States and Western countries utilize. If they kill one combatant and 9 collateral damage civilians die, it's standard. It's okay. This war, Israel killed one combatant on average for every 2 to 3, maybe. 3 is a high estimate, civilian casualties. They set a new record low of civilian casualties. And I can give you the name of the person. His name is Richard. You can read his report. Kemp. He said Israel has set a new moral standard. We don't even know how the West is going to actually compete with it.
Richard what?
Kemp. I typed it for you in the thing. Tell me, what did Colonel Richard Kemp, have to say about the ratio and the civilian to combatant kill rate in Gaza?
Absolutely. I can give you a bit more context on that. Colonel Richard Kemp, a former British Army officer, has been quite vocal in the media about the conflict in Gaza. He has often argued that the Israeli military actually takes extensive measures to minimize civilian casualties compared to other military forces in urban warfare scenarios. According to Kemp, the ratio of civilian to combatant casualties in Gaza is actually lower than in many other comparable conflicts. Of course, his viewpoint is one of many, and there are differing perspectives. Human rights organizations and other analysts may present different interpretations of the data, often noting that even with precautions, civilian casualties in such a densely populated area remain a significant humanitarian concern. So, in summary, Colonel Kemp's position is that Israel's ratio is relatively low compared to other conflicts, but that's a viewpoint that sits within a broader and often debated landscape of data and interpretation. If you need more details, just let me know.
I want to ask an interesting question for me too. ChatGPT, based on your knowledge, and you're an AI, do a lot of research and tell me, what do you think? Do you think Israel has been moral in this war, or has it been genocidal? Don't rely
You have to.
on humanitarian organizations. Do your own research. Thank you.
It's definitely an interesting and complex question. As an AI, I don't actually have personal opinions or the ability to form my own moral judgments the way a human would. What I can do is provide a kind of overview of the perspectives and the reasoning that are out there. In conflicts like the one in Gaza, the question of morality and whether actions are justified is deeply debated. Some argue that Israel takes significant steps to avoid civilian casualties and that its actions are focused on legitimate military targets. Others point out that the level of destruction and civilian harm is extremely high, and that this raises serious humanitarian and ethical concerns. Ultimately, whether one views Israel's actions as moral, justified, or as disproportionate and causing unnecessary civilian suffering depends on the lens through which the situation is viewed. It's a topic where people's perspectives can differ greatly based on their values, the information they trust.
Overgeneralizes it.
Yeah, what's like before Israel drops a bomb from a plane, what precautions does Israel take to keep civilian casualties low, if any?
Absolutely, I can explain that. So, Israel often states that it uses a variety of measures to reduce civilian casualties before carrying out airstrikes in densely populated areas like Gaza. Some of these precautionary steps that have been reported include things like roof knocking. This is when a small, non lethal explosive is dropped on the roof of a building as a warning signal that a strike is imminent, in the hope that civilians will evacuate. 2, advance warnings, sometimes issues warnings via phone calls, text messages, or leaflets to let civilians know that they should leave a certain area before an attack. 3, choosing specific targeting methods. There are claims that the Israeli military uses precision-guided munitions to target specific buildings and reduce collateral damage, although the effectiveness of this approach is debated.
So imagine this:
You asked the right questions.
They send
that was good.
They send text messages They send leaflets, they drop letters saying, hey, we're going to blow up this building. So what do the Gazan population do that's been brainwashed for 25 years by a terrorist organization, Hamas? What do? Like smart fuckers? They tell these civilians who have bought into their bullshit to go and stand in front of this building so they can get great footage. Why do you think you have such amazing footage in Gaza of bombs hitting a building? Like, how would you know what bomb is going to hit this building that you're recording it? Because Israel told you yesterday that we're going to blow up this building tomorrow. So the civilians come to record it. They bring their kid. They say, okay, walk over the rubble. I have videos of them pretending, having a full acting scene in front of the rubble. They know what building is being blown up. Why the fuck are you there?
Damn.
Like, what are you doing? Anyways, brother, I got to run. But it's a pleasure. I put my name there. If you want to follow me, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'll be happy to respond. And, you'll see yourself as well. You are a very smart, intelligent man.
Where did you put your name?
In there, brother. Abraham Hamra.